Disrupting vehicular movement on major roads in Benin City. They are alleging the murder of one of them, Ibrahim Momodu, a student of science lab technology who was serving his industrial training at a pharmaceutical company in the city. The sister of Ibrahim Momodu is in the group and narrates the story, which she says she was told by the DPO of Ogida Police Station, Mrs. Carol Afegbaye.
He was coming home in the evening, and according to Carol's report, he said she saw him brought out a gun, wanted to shoot one policeman. They didn't see the gun. She was the only one who saw the gun. And before he would shoot, she shot him first to protect her men. And they went to bury him because it was raining the next day, and she didn't want the body to be smelly, not to contaminate her men in the station.
Their demand for justice and explanation takes them to the police state headquarters, where the public relations officer Moses Aguavon tells their own side of the story with items which he claims are evidence supporting their action.
While they were on this routine patrol, they intercepted a cyclist and another. In the course of search, the one that was on top of the bike, of course not the rider this time, brought out a Russian-made cut-to-size double-barrel gun, which of course you are seeing here.
This explanation does not hold water, according to UNIBEN students and family of the deceased, as they continuously ask why the corpse would be buried without the consent of the family.
Well, yes, indeed, that's the matter we'll be looking at today. And as you also have seen, Austin Osakwe joins us this morning to discuss that one. He is the Executive Director, Foundation for Good Governance and Social Change. Morning, and thank you for coming in today.
Thank you very much.
Well, that report was recorded earlier, but a lot has since happened after that report.
Certainly.
We understand that the IG has really stepped into this one.
Certainly.
What's your comment? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think the point to establish first is our involvement as civil society in this is the fact that it's no longer about just Ibrahim Momodu. It's about public confidence in the police. It's about the constitutional duty of the police to guarantee the security of lives and property. It's about respect for fundamental liberties, the right to life, the right to fair hearing, the right to be tried based on the twin principles of fair hearing, hear the other side, and then, of course, the accuser cannot be the judge. As a background, Carol Afegbaye is a DPO of Ogida Police Station. She had volunteered on tape that she shot this young man in self-defense as the young man was trying to shoot at the police, a team. Autopsy report is out. That's the latest. Autopsy report specifies now that 3 gunshots went into this young man through the back, tore the heart, and exited through the chest. 3 gunshots from the back. If you relate this with Carol Afegbaye's statement that this boy was shot in self-defense, it gives it a lie. The second is that there's been an attempt by the Edo State Police Command to shift the burden of proof from Carol Afegbaye to one Corporal Amadi.
Really?
Yes, who is said to be the aide to the DPO. As I speak to you, Amadi is in detention. The DPO has been reposted from, redeployed from Ogida Police Station to. We see this as a deliberate obfuscation of the issues, an attempt to give a leeway of escape to Carol Afegbaye.
There are those who think that her redeployment was to allow for proper investigation so that nobody will influence the investigation as it's going through. Did you hear that one?
Yes, I did. That may very well be so. But if If we have on tape a woman who confesses to have shot another in self-defense, redeployment is not the issue. It's a complete suspension from the proceedings. So if that were actually the reason for the deployment, we are saying is not enough. She's still in a position to influence proceedings of whatever investigations there may be. We are bothered, sir.
Yeah, I was going to ask, pardon me for butting in, does civil society in Edo have a background to, let's say, Carol, for instance? Because we hear all sorts of things coming on from there.
Yes. You know, of course, I'm on air, and this is a respected TV station. So I'm going to stick to only those things that have been verified. Like you said, we have also heard such a lot. For instance, we were there when the body was being exhumed based on a court order.
Oh.
We know what we were told by cemetery officials. But I won't say that here. We also know that this woman has served in at least 3 different divisional police posts. We know the background. We know the things that have happened. We know how, for instance, now generally, how a police team will raid an area at 7 p.m., arrest over 50 young people claiming that they are wandering. In the 21st century in Benin.
Wow.
And then, of course, everyone begins to now see how to bail the individual out. The point I want to make, and this primary reason civil society became involved, I noticed that when anybody is shot, a young man is shot, and the police immediately comes to say it was an armed robber, even the family becomes put under pressure to come out in defense of the young man. Because nobody wants to get near a case like that. And that's what we find. That is what is consistent with this sort of incidents. We have asked the question, is there any extant law in Nigeria? Is there anything in the Constitution or the statutes or even case law or our customary practices that gives an individual of whatever gender, whatever rank in the force, the right, the license to try an individual? First, arrest an individual, try the individual, sentence the individual, do a summary execution of that individual, and go to bury the individual at 6 a.m. in the morning without the family being aware. Is there such a provision anywhere in the laws of Nigeria?
You know,
we're talking about fundamental liberties.
Mr. Osakwe, I'm happy.
This is the only son of the woman.
I'm happy you said, well, there's a latest development that the IG has stepped in. You want to bring us up to speed?
Yes,
what have you gathered?
The position of the IG is that there should be now a full-scale investigation of the matter, which gives the lie to the press conference by the PRO. The issue with the PRO brought a so-called Russian-made cost-to-size barrel. And this is what happens all over in Benin. Every time somebody is shot or something bizarre happens,